Gina's settlement was bigger than she wanted. There must be compensatory and
Compensatory?
most importantly, punitive damages. I believe she agreed to a lump sum of $5 million plus
Wow.
attorney's fees and her back on the payroll. Let's make some movies.
Whew.
I don't. All of that is private, though. Do you think she really got $5 million?
I don't think $5 million's enough. They've been trying to settle this.
She was asking for $750,000, and considering she had court costs and lawyers' fees and whatnot, which Disney probably would have had to pay for, my guess is that the check was probably around $3 million. If I had to take a wild shot in the dark.
Yeah,
that's
it's
just
not
a guess.
disclosed, right? How much the actual settlement
It'll
is
never be
for.
disclosed. Yeah.
I'm just glad they were made to say they look forward to working with her again. Like that's big. That was the core issue, that they lied about what she said, and they tried to ruin her career, in my opinion.
I mean, for me with that, Rainey, is the fact that that's really all they said. Like I said earlier in the stream, this, like, okay, for me, $5 million would not be enough. Like, it would need to be like somewhere around the $20 million range. And there would have to be like very detailed public apologies in regards to very specific moments in time. Right?
Sure, so it would have been better if they were like, yeah, we were wrong to say that about her. That would be nice.
No, 100%. So, yes, there has been a settlement, but nowhere through the entire thing have they even come out and said, we're sorry. They've actually doubled down and said, everybody was really respectful to her. No, the entire premise of the lawsuit is based on the fact that people were disrespectful to her.
Fuck you and Demian. That was funny.
Compensatory.
Look, I'm kind of more on the side of where Rhino's coming from. Like this, like I didn't see an apology. I didn't even see where they said they were going to work together again. All I saw them say was they were going to investigate. It was some of the most lawyer speak I've ever seen in my life. I don't even have it in front of me. But it was like, we were going to investigate possible future opportunities to work with Gina. Like, it's not even like...
Is that how they phrased it?
Yeah, it is such loophole phrasing.
That's why I said it's a lie. Everybody's being like, the beer goggles are on when it comes to this statement, and they're not actually seeing through what it actually is. They are basically just doubling down and saying that, like, I know that the settlement admits fault. I get that. But the fact that they don't even have to necessarily come out and say, we are sorry for calling you an abhorrent person.
But isn't that kind of built in by losing the lawsuit?
Yes,
I mean,
but the public perception of it all
they
doesn't
still bent the knee.
True,
they still bent the knee, but who out there, what has changed in the zeitgeist of the universe right now with the Gina Carano stuff? Nothing. People still think and you're not necessarily going to change people's minds. I get that. But the fact of the matter is people are still set in their ways in regards to it. Nobody has actually said that actually did agree with what Disney did is coming out and saying, oh, hang on, wait a second. Yeah, they did lose. You know, Gina is right based on what's actually happened at this point in time. If Disney is forced to come out and actually say, we're sorry for this, we're sorry for trying to force on you that you have to sit down in a Zoom call with 50 trans activists to try and sway your mind, right? Not like, where are these actual apologies? Nothing.
Well,
nothing.
Isn't technically the settlement an apology? I mean, they called her a lovely person and they were looking forward to working with her again.
They didn't say it exactly like that. See, and that's where Rhino and I are coming from and on the same page, I think. Like, again,
Thank
we
you,
could
Gerald.
be wrong, and they could turn around and quickly shoehorn her into the Mando film, right? That could happen, and she could turn around and still get her show if that's the case, because those were the things she wanted. Part of what she wanted was to be reinstated into the Star Wars, galaxy.
If they did a Cara Dune spinoff, she would deserve that, and it would do well.
And Rhino's right, and that's where I agree with him on the perception of this, because at the end of the day, sure, she got a settlement, but until she's actually in a movie that has a Disney banner in front of it, or a Star Wars movie, or even brought back and say like a cameo in Deadpool 4, she is still technically seen as blacklisted and or canceled. by the majority of the public, and I'm sure by most of the studios.
The thing is, Tom, is that the payout might make up for that. The payout might make up for the fact that she's might not actually.
We'll never know
work ever again.
We'll never know what it is though because of NDAs. Thank you, Gerald. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
The thing is, for me, is like I got to say this. I really like Gina and her. Like, I really believe that she does have really good integrity, and like just based on what I've seen, I don't know her, right? But based on what I've seen, especially during the COVID time. Like, I really do respect her. But I got to say, this...
Yeah, I like Gina a lot. I do.
To me, based on the statement that they put out...
she's a great person.
Put out, or the lawyers put out, they are still controlling the narrative in regards to what's happened here.
Well, isn't a settlement without admitting guilt kind of the standard, though?
100%. It admits fault, right? The settlement admits fault.
Them not admitting they're guilty is kind of like the standard in a settlement. But you are kind of guilty for settling.
I just think that before any money came in...
It just makes me think...
That happened to me. Before any money came in, the first thing on the list would be public apology. I don't even care whether or not it's an actual written statement or you come out and actually do a press conference. Actually, the press conference would be better. Let's do it that way, where Kathleen Kennedy has to come out and say, sorry that our team over on our Twitter side piled onto all the cancel shit, right, that Gina had to put up with. It was wrong for them to do that.
Yeah.
They've been fired. Where is that? Like, that would be the first thing on the list in regards to the settlement for me, is you have to publicly admit fault for what you did to me. That would be the first thing on the list, and we haven't got any of it. They've said, oh, everybody at Disney Lucasfilm was respectful to her. No, the entire premise of the lawsuit is on the fact that she was disrespected.
Here, Tom's got the statement. Tom's got the statement he put in the private chat. Let me read it. The Walt Disney Company and Lucasfilm are pleased to announce that we've reached an agreement with Gina Carano to resolve the issues in her pending lawsuit against the companies. Ms. Carano was always well respected by her directors, co-stars, and staff, and she worked hard to perfect her craft while treating her colleagues with kindness and respect. With this lawsuit concluded, we look forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Ms. Carano in the future.
It's so
what's funny about that is you didn't hear executives and producers in that.
It's so funny that they end
That's
that
true.
Statement.
Yeah.
So funny that they end that statement on like a true fact that Gina Carano was respectful to her co-stars and everything. But before that, they say that everybody was respectful to her. And then they go on to say that she was respectful to everybody. So they lie and then they basically spit out a truth. So that in your mind, it's like, oh yeah. Like, I just don't see this as a win. I'm sorry. Like, I see it as a win in the fact that, yes, they had to pay out. She won the lawsuit. Yes. But again, for me, it wouldn't be enough just to pay it out. You have to publicly, or else we're taking this all the way. She had the win. The proof that she had the win is in the fact that they settled. You had the win in the bag.
That is now that I will say I don't agree with necessarily.
A public apology for everything, and there's so many different accounts of what they did to her.
It's really going to depend on if we see her.
I don't know.
If she comes back and she is in a Star Wars project, that's a W.
No,
exactly. I agree with that.
But that's what she really wanted, though, Rhino. She wants to go back and do that.
Okay, but for me,
I think she really likes being in the fandom and stuff.
That's a mistake for her career.
Well, it would kind of uncancel her, though. I don't
that's
think
where I agree with you, Flash.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the logical thing. And if that's the case, I take back everything I said, because then she's basically getting that. Because then who gives a shit if they gave her a public apology or not? Her public apology beyond the, settlement is that she is back into Star Wars, right? And that is going to send all the woke so reeing to the hills that's the only reason I'm not so sure that this is a thing where she's going to be coming back. And that's where the lawyer speak to me comes in at the end, where it says, we look forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Miss Carano in the near future.
So
that is some of the most loopholey bullshit I've ever heard in my life.
The chat is saying Star Wars is dead, and I agree. But it doesn't matter if it's good or not. Just her coming back and being in it would automatically kind of uncancel her.
The Disney chills
and
would
talk about a huge knee
so
bend
hard.
for them to bring her back and put her back in it. Like that would be a massive win. And we don't really know if that's going to happen yet. We kind of have to wait and see. That's why I'm just kind of saying, okay, whatever. She got her bag, and it kind of bent the knee. The real knee bend will be if she gets back on a show or if she's in that Mandalorian movie.
Yeah.
Like that's a huge win. Whether you like it or not, the product, her coming back and being in it would still be a huge W for her.
And I want to push back just a little bit on one thing that Rhino said. We don't know if this was necessarily a guaranteed win. I'll be honest with you, because I've seen plenty of cases where people settle where it still doesn't mean that the other party is necessarily guilty. It just means that they're getting out of this problem.
That's the problem too.
And that's the thing here, and that's where I think
apologizing.
And that's where I think you're right. I think that there's half of this is where they still think they're in the right. This settlement, I think, was more about, look, we know you can take this the distance because you got Elon Musk backing you up. We can go the distance as well. Why don't we just end this now?
That's why the first thing on the list needed
to be
not money. It didn't need to be money. The first thing on the list needed to be a public statement, a public actual apology. That would have been the first thing. That would be non-negotiable. Non-negotiable.
Well, let's see if she gets back in there. I mean, that to me is what's really gonna speak a lot. So I mean, she's not gonna just show up in something tomorrow. You have to shoot it and put it all together. So
based on what Tom just said, the fact that they settled doesn't necessarily put anyone in the right or in the wrong. So the public perception of everything is okay. They just
I get what you're saying.
I agree. I agree.
End the argument. They just settled so that they could end the argument, and it's done. And she might come back, she might not come back, but it doesn't change anything. And look, even if they did come out with a public apology, it might not change anything. But the fact that they destroyed her so hard, to me, that would, if they'd done that to me, I don't care how much money. You could throw $1 billion at me. If you're not willing to come out and publicly say sorry, then f you. Like, that's where I'm at. That's seriously where I'm at.
I'll take $1 billion.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
I don't think she got nearly that much.
But
I agree with you, Rhino, that if she's not in the Star Wars movie or at least some sort of
I'll sell a green dildo if you give me $1 billion.
That's where I agree with you that she's still technically canceled because
I have the hook too. You can take him to WNBA games. Done. It's an easy sell.
You hear they're putting nets in for that? I say they should
hit
just
some
lean
woman
into
in the
this shit.
face.
This thing makes sense to me. It's like, why don't we lean into this shit? You should just sell the dildos at the game. Put the girls' numbers on the dildos. Be like, have a guy going up and down the like, I got green dildos, I got blue dildos, I got purple dildos here. We got your cake dildo, we got your Nike swoosh dildo, we got your Nike Air dildo, we got your Air Jordan dildo, we got your Adidas
I'm selling the
dildo.
one with ribs. I'm buying those.
There's not much I would turn down for $1 billion. I'm just saying.
Well,
They're letting people get under their skin. They
retire for $1 billion.
The point that I was trying to make is that they could try and pay me $1 billion, and yes, I'll take it. But the first thing on the list is a public apology. That's the first
That was never
thing.
going to happen, Rhino.
Well,
right?
then the settlement. Like, I don't understand.
And let's be real. Unless Kathleen Kennedy and Pablo Hidalgo are gone.
She got canceled. She got publicly humiliated.
I agree with you there.
Based on the mob that was out there, she got fired publicly, not even actually like respectfully, Gina, we're letting you go. No, you're going to find out via social media. The whole thing. Where is the apology? That is my point. You can pay as much money as possible, and it's so easy. Yes, we'll settle. We'll settle, and you won't get Discovery. But you know what your cost is for you not going to Discovery? A public apology. That's the cost. It's not the money. But see, because it's a lawsuit, they had to make it about the money, didn't they? They had to make it about her role. It's so annoying.
I'd spend a little bit. I would spend some money on the old racist Superman covers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've got a couple of them.
I'm ranting and raving, but I hope I'm making some sense here.
I agree with you, Rhino, and that's what I was saying is the apology comes in if they actually put her in a studio picture. Now, again, I think if they were going to put her back in Star Wars, they would have said that in the statement. I think Gina would have said that in the statement. Because I think that would have been, like you said, the vindication she needed. I don't know if she's necessarily ever going to come back to Star Wars. Because until Kathleen Kennedy and Pablo Hidalgo are out of Lucasfilm, I don't see those three working together ever again, right? Like, I'll even give Kathleen Kennedy the benefit of the doubt that she was probably like a satellite parent and maybe was the one who made the decision to get rid of Gina, but she was possibly going off of other people just telling her shit, because I hardly think Kathleen Kennedy was hanging around the set all that much, right? Like, at the end of the day, what Disney didn't want was, they didn't want Discovery. Yes, that I guarantee you. But you want to know what they didn't want more than Discovery? They didn't want Jon Favreau, Kathleen Kennedy, Bob Chapek, and Bob Iger on the stand. That's what they didn't want. Because think about how much of a circus the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial was, and the most famous person besides Johnny Depp on the stand, or that was actually questioned, it was in a video, was Jerry Bruckheimer. Can you imagine the headlines? Have you had Jon Favreau and people like that and Pedro Pascal on the stand?
That's why they settled. Whatever, that Discovery.
But
that Discovery, whatever was in those emails must have been so juicy.
Yes. And the cost of that,
God.
and you know what Gina got out of it? A payout and a double down. Like, that's how I see what the statement is that's come from them. Now, I do also want to point out that we may get more to what the settlement is with this. They might have to come out with a public apology. It might still come, right? All we've got is what the lawyer
What if she shows back up? What if she shows up in a Mandalorian movie or the show or something? What if they announce that Rangers of the Old Republic? What were they going to call it?
That's the big ass win that
Rangers of the New Republic.
Yes, I want Cara.
What if they say this show's on and she walks out on stage in the Cara Dune outfit? Is that a win or a loss?
Well, it's a win.
It doesn't matter if you like it or not.
Exactly, it's a W for her.
It's technically a win, but I still think that.
But we don't know if that's going to happen yet. So it's just like, let's just chill and wait and see. I mean.
No, but dude, they slandered the shit out of
he did, but whatever was in that settlement, she liked it enough to accept it.
Let me tell you one other thing. Here's another thing when it comes to lawsuits in Hollywood. You know what? Gina probably could have won, Rhino. Let's say for the sake of argument, they knew that they had her in a win. Here's one thing that Gina doesn't want to do. Become unhireable again. Because even if she wins this case, who's going to want to work with her if she did? Like, that's the thing. They would be deathly afraid that if something goes wrong on the set and they have to fire her for any reason, that she'll sue them.
She may as well just go to
So this was her also playing nice with the studio behind the scenes. Can you imagine had this been going on for like 6 years or 3 years and she already isn't working? But I agree with you. She needs to be in a studio picture or she's not going to get any more opportunities than she already has. That I totally 100% agree with you on. Like, that had, if it wasn't part of her deal to get like a 2 or 3 picture deal, then she should have put it in there.
The result of her cancellation is one of the biggest of all time. Like, she got canceled from her management. She got canceled from she got blacklisted. It's the biggest.
I agree with you.
One that I've ever seen. And the result of it, I still don't understand.
We don't know if it was 75K. A lot of the chat are bringing up that 75K. We don't know what she got. I guarantee you it's more than 75K.
People are saying I'm retarded in the chat, but I'll tell you what, there's been more settlements in Hollywood because people want to work again than ever anything else, period.
I don't care about the money.
It's all about playing nice with the studios and the people that have money and pay you.
Let's ask the chat. What should we do, poll? How should we
It's like them trying, like, they're never going to admit fault that The Last Jedi is a shit movie, right? It's the same thing. They're never going to admit fault that what they did to Gina Carano was wrong. And that's where I see the problem with all of this. They still haven't admitted fault based on they have, based on the fact that they've had to pay her out. But that's
let's ask the chat. How does the chat feel about it? Is the Gina settlement a win? Yes or no? Straight up.
Well,
what do you guys think?
Technically, yes. Technically, the answer to that question is yes. She won. She did. In the public perception, in the zeitgeist out there,
there was some meltdowns about it, which were funny. John Roca had a big meltdown. Sawyerisms had a big meltdown. There was another person do that. Jacob guy had a big meltdown. A lot of the shows, the shows that were, so we were talking about this at the beginning of the stream. And these are these cancel hogs that were going after all the Star Wars channels, specifically Star Wars Theory. I think they were going after Gary. Who else were they going after? They were going after a couple of channels specifically.
They went after Gary. They went after Critical Drinker. They did go after Mauler a little bit, but the other one I think was Ryan.
Was Ryan? Ryan wasn't in that, was he?
I think Ryan was on the list, or at least it was Geeks and Gamers. Maybe it was
Geeks and Gamers was, and so was Gary, and then
Critical Drinker. The other one was Critical Drinker.
Star Wars Theory was in there too.
The big one was the that video that Mojo put out there. Watch Mojo put out there during the Acolyte stuff.
Yeah,
I was the one that captured that. I sent it to Gary. And they tried to call him out in a video, and then they deleted the video.
Man, there was so much shit going on. Then they were going hard.
Who's calling out who?
This is when they had that. What was the name of that group that they made that had a bunch of old Lucasfilm people?
What are you talking about?
Writing Ripley, was it, or was it somebody else?
Maybe
Rewriting Ripley. Yeah. They had us all in bubbles.
Yeah, they were coming after. Man, they went so hard at. They were going so hard to get people canceled, and it didn't amount to shit. Man, they tried so hard though. We found out so much funny shit, like that Star Wars Explain channel. That dude that is a cuck to that Molly chick.
Yeah, he's such a.
Like, we found out that she had to rub his back so he could fall asleep because he was having nightmares about how much money Star Wars Theory was thinking.
Making.
That's probably the best shit that came out of it. Man, that guy's such a. What's his name?
Yeah.
Alex
and Molly.
God, that dude's a loser. You see that picture of him where he's like in a Leia dress and she's Jabba?
Yeah. He dresses up.
Sadly, I think we all have.
Yeah, what a loser.
That's the sad part.
That guy's a loser, man. Like, and he's such an ass too.
Yeah,
like Star Wars Theory, that guy up.
Let me share this really quickly. Share my screen flash. This was the Watch Mojo video that they released and deleted really quickly, and I was the only one that was able to actually capture it. But this is what they said, and this is why I went up to Sawyer, because she jumped on this bandwagon to try and cancel them during the Acolytes.
9% of users who reviewed the episode gave it a 1. Some audience members have issues with the show's diversity and LGBTQ+ themes, and those should be dismissed.
The biggest problem is it doesn't have anything. It's CW bullshit is what that show is.
Examine the legitimate criticisms the Acolyte has received. Cultural critics like the Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic have dubbed the show lore-breaking for its recent revelations, but their commentary isn't productive. Rather, it encourages bigotry and hatred over a show that's just
makes no sense.
As always, rage baits and review bombings distract from actual criticism. In particular, episode 3 has proven to be controversial, and perhaps rightfully so.
Oh, Looper put that out?
Yeah, they released. Do you remember this? They released.
Yeah, this was a while ago.
I was the only one that was actually able to capture the video. I sent it to Gary, and then they talked about it on Friday Night Tights, and I think even he put it in a video or something. But I did a video.
He could sue Looper.
I did an entire video on the entire video.
That's why they deleted it.
I screen recorded the entire video. But yeah, they called out Critical Drinker. And then this is where Sawyer jumped on, and this is why when I did what I did at LA Comic-Con. But yeah. I can't remember why
they should have sued them, man.